Hey everybody, how's it going? I am Jeff Fuller from Fuller Embroidery Works. We have Justin Armenta from JA Digitizing Studios, and soon to be joining us, Matt Enderly from Patchphrase. If you click the button, there we go. And we are super excited because we have a special announcement. And we gotta look a couple of things up. We gotta Google it, but first and foremost, I want to introduce. We have a special guest with us today that's here to help us with our announcement. It is DJ Anderson from Digitizing Masterclass, and he is going to be talking to us a little bit about a new product offering that we are going to have. So I'm going to go ahead and bring DJ in. Hey DJ, how are you doing today?
Good. Is everyone doing good with the stream? Mine's kind of breaking up.
Yep. I think yours is the only one breaking up. But that's okay. So the big announcements that we have is that we will begin offering Floriani Total Control use software for sale on the Embroidery Nerd website. And that is going to be something that you guys can go and purchase. And Matt's going to be grabbing the price that we're going to have for that. For those of you guys that don't know, the Floriani software is developed by the same people who developed the Pulse software, Pulse DGML. And I'm really excited to have DJ with us here today because DJ has been working with the Floriani software and helping develop the software for the last, we decided, 13 years?
15.
15 years? We'll go with 15 because it sounds like more. And DJ knows, but yeah. DJ's been working with the software.
Are you able to hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
You able to hear me now? Okay, because mine just refreshed, so I didn't hear anything you said before that. 15 years, though.
Oh, okay.
What internet browser are you using right now for StreamYard?
Chrome.
That's a question to you. Chrome.
Okay. Chrome. That's one of the better. Yeah.
That's one of the better ones.
Because we noticed Firefox is kind of garbage with it. So Chrome and Edge, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Either way.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pose a couple of questions to DJ because he is the leading expert on the Floriani software because he has helped develop it over the years working with the programmers to get features and stuff. So, DJ, with your goal of working with the software over the past 15 years, where have you tried to guide the software into be what it is today?
So, whenever you're looking at software in general, like I know you have a lot of programs, Jeff, just like I do. And there's a lot of things that you like from some programs and there's things you don't like about others. And so whenever you're developing software, you're always trying to get that mix of usability, like how can you make this as user-friendly as possible and give people as much control as possible. And it can be kind of difficult to do because the more control that you kind of put out there, sometimes it can make things a lot more complicated and not as easy to use as we've seen, because any program that's been around for 20, 30 years have a lot of features that have been added over the years to where each year it gets less and less user friendly, right? So the goal with Floriani software always was how can we make this as user friendly as possible, make it as powerful as possible, and not restrict people from control, because that's just saying that's how a lot of companies position their software, is to give you so much, only so much, knowing that you're going to have to pay a little bit more to get more control and more features. Whereas Floriani was like, okay, we're just going to give everybody what they need and give it to them at a very special price, and at the same time make it as friendly as possible. And I think that that's what we've achieved in 15 years. To see what the software is capable of is pretty amazing. And especially not just at the price point, but at the usability level as well, user friendly and capabilities. So I don't know if I answered your question.
You did. So one of the things I'd really like to point out here, because this is something that I think makes Floriani software very unique, is that once you buy it, it's yours. So I know people that bought the software 10 years ago and they're up on the latest version. It's kind of a buy once software and you move on from there. So it's really cool that they're able to continually add features as well as add in new features for people that have already purchased the software. So I think that's something that's really unique, especially towards the Floriani software. I will tell you guys that we are running a special because this is kind of a release for us. And so right now you can get the Floriani Total Control software on our website for $1,899, $1,899. And if you are members of the group, you guys can jump over to the group and look for a coupon code that will give you some bonuses if you purchase through us. So that's something that I think is really, really cool and that we're able to do right now. So if you guys have questions, you can go ahead and drop them in the comments there and we'll answer them. So some of the other products that we've added to our site is the Sketch-A-Stitch by Floriani, which is it module a correct word to use, DJ?
Yeah, it's like a standalone program, yeah. So you can use it by itself. But the idea is to, this is a product that came out, I don't know, like probably we brought it out probably.
Uh-oh.
Probably quite a while ago. It is a standalone product, so you are able to use it all by itself. But one of the cooler features that it has is that you're able to open up those Sketch-A-Stitch files, or you're able to use Sketch-A-Stitch inside of Floriani and edit the designs even further. It also has a companion app for the iPad that you can use. So you can do your sketches on the iPad, then you can take those files and open them up in Floriani. Did we get you back, DJ?
I think we did.
For a second?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the other products that we're able to do. And we were looking at a few other of the Floriani softwares and picking the ones that we want to be able to add to our site. It is really a unique thing because when you do purchase it, you'll get an email that allows you to gives you the installation instructions to go and get the program downloaded, as well as the serial number, and then you're able to activate it there. So we have a question here from Mike Muldowney. I'll go ahead and bring that up. And he says, what's the licensing like? One purchase, one install, multiple machines, dongle-less. So it is a dongle-less software. I believe you can have it installed on 2 computers and use them at the same time. It is something that you can go through and you can release the license. And if you get like a new computer or something, you can release the license and you can go and license it on your new computer. So I don't know if you have anything to add there, DJ.
Sorry, and I know my computer's freezing up. I'm actually going to try to log in through Mozilla because I don't know if it's my Chrome, just letting you know. But yeah, you can have it on 2 computers at a time, which is great. And, you know, so that allows you to have it like on a laptop and a PC. And so, yeah.
Okay. So there, unfortunately, I'll go ahead and grab this question here. There is not an Android interface to Sketch-A-Stitch, but it is something that can be done. And I'm going to look at DJ here for a second because he's in that. Now he's in the stream twice.
I don't know which one it is.
We'll pull that one up maybe, and it says he's muted. So we'll try and unmute, but currently it is muted. I think you have to close one to be able to close one browser to be able to open up the mic in the other one. But we'll go ahead and work on getting DJ back in. and it looks like he's in and just needs to set up his microphone. So that is our big announcement. We are really excited for it. And DJ, you're back?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, cool. So one of the things I wanted to do is I have the software open here, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And I wanted to show you guys a couple of the features that I really, really like about the Floriani software. So we'll go ahead and add that to stage. And right here, I just put up some text. You know, we have to stay on brand, so it's got to say the Embroidery Nerd. But I really like the fact that when I select an object here, I have the options right here around it. So I can click here if I want to copy it and duplicate it. I can click here if I want to go into node edit, and I can edit the option or edit the nodes. I can move it by clicking on this one and moving it around. It's just kind of nudging it in the direction that I tap. This is for right click. So if you guys are working on something like a pen tablet and you don't have the right click available, you can actually touch on that. And then of course we have the zoom to fit. So that's one of the features that I really like about Floriani, is that they've kind of given you the tools there on the screen, as well as, and this is for those of you that go between metric and inches all the time, it's really nice to be able to right click on the ruler here, and you can change between metric and inches by just right clicking on the ruler and selecting what you would like it to be. So those are a couple of the features that I really like with the usability. If I wanted to, this here is a sketchbook. And as you can see, it opened this up in the corner where I can actually have a brush, where I could do like a calligraphy end here, and I can just draw with my mouse, and it's going to go ahead and do that. It puts this big dot there at the end, so I know where to continue. I can do just a run stitch here. And I can set the various stitch levels there. And if I want it to go away, I can just click on that. And now I can edit it like any other object with the nodes that it's given me. I can delete nodes, add nodes, and I can make changes to it. So those are a couple of the features that I really like about Floriani, and the capabilities to do that, and the fact that it is on the same stitch engine as the DG software. So you get the added user interface, or the simpler user interface to use, but you also get the horsepower of the DG stitch engine.
And it looks pretty.
Looks pretty. But yeah, no, that is a key thing too, because any digitizing software is only as good as the brains, and that's the stitch engine. And really, there's only a couple companies that really develop stitch engines. And you know, I don't want to talk about other brands and stuff, but Pulse, the DG, is by far the most advanced stitch engine of any digitizing software. And I've had a lot of people that have owned other brands and then also own the Pulse DG, and they will all tell you that the quality of the stitches are much better. And that's because of the development over the 30 plus years that they've had on developing the stitch engine. And that's what kind of makes it special.
Yep.
And it gets to, the FTCU gets to share that same stitch engine. So you're getting the best stitch engine you can possibly get in a digitizing software. Yep.
So we have a question here. The Sassy Subber asks, so it's new user friendly? And I would say that yes, it is new user friendly. It's helpful for people that are starting, and a lot of it comes down to the education. And there's a lot of education out there for the Floriani software, as well as some of the stuff that we're going to start doing and selling on our website. DJ actually has a product called Digitizing Masterclass from digitizingmasterclass.com, where he has full-blown courses dedicated to the Floriani software and learning it.
Yep. Only, thousands plus videos out there on it.
So Mike asks, so does it unintentionally cater to Tajima DST just because of that Pulse history, or will other machine formats be elevated as well? So it actually can save out to a bunch of different machine formats, not just the Tajima DST. And it does a great job exporting out any machine format. One of the unique things about Pulse, as well as Floriani, is you guys can see these rendered stitch points here. And you can see those points that go along right there. So those are the actual points that the software is going to put a node, or not a node, a needle. That's actually where the needle points are going to fall, where in other softwares, it'll kind of render you a smooth curve. And then when you export it, it'll export to the resolution of the pentagraph, where this actually is going to show you exactly where every needle penetration is going to fall from the beginning. And it does save to several machine formats here. So we've got the Brother line, we've got Tajima, Baradin, Singers, Vikings, and a few others.
The other nice thing is it is artwork based, vector based. So you have the ability to save it. You can create using artwork and save as SVG files or PLT files, so it can be used to create cutter files as well if you have a cutter.
Yep. So that's just there are a couple of really cool features in there. I don't know if there's anything that you would like to highlight, DJ. If you do, you can go ahead and bring up your software and we can take a look at it. But we are able to offer this product to you guys at $18.99, where if you are part of our closed Facebook group, there will be a coupon code out there that you guys can see. We'll be adding some bonuses in it to the first few people that purchase the software.
I have this design. This was one that I did in the Stitch Engine, and when I sewed this out, it was by far one of the best actual sew outs I've ever had. And I didn't know anything more or less coming from other software in the this type with I didn't have any special trade secrets or anything. It's just that I just digitized it, and when I sewed it out, just the way all the fills and all the the joins, you got the satin coming up against the fill here, just the way that it stitched. I tried to find the patch. I don't know where it is. It's just, I think it's probably one of my favorite actual stitched out designs. Plus it also looks cool. It's a clothespin. Who wouldn't like it?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to share that. See, I used it.
No, and that's good. Again, it's the Stitch Engine, right? The Stitch Engine is the most important part of any digitizing software, and that's where this really shines. So it doesn't surprise me when people like you have experiences like this. So I don't know. I'm trying to share my screen. Does it?
It doesn't show that you've shared it yet.
Okay.
I will say one of the things that I wanted to highlight here is, because it is based on the same Stitch Engine as DG16, you can actually open PXF files. So you can open Pulse files. You can't save to a PXF, but you can open it, and it'll open like it's a native file. So if you are sending your files out for digitizing and your digitizer offers Pulse files as a native file when it comes back, you can utilize Floriani to open that, make any edits you need, and save to go to your machine. So that's a really neat thing that it's able to do. And I'm going to hit file, save as. I've got a question here from, hold on. The comments went crazy there for a second. There. From Doug that asked if you're able to save to the Baradin U0 or 0U1 format. And I see here that it does support the Baradin U01 format. So yes, you can. And then Dennis here says, out of the 12 digitizing programs I have, I always come back to Floriani, which
He's got you beat on software then.
I've got to pump up my numbers there.
Yeah. Start buying. I wanted to bring this up real quick. So Mike, again, we already talked about this, but this design that I have on my screen right now, I ran this on my Happies, so it's obviously not a Tajima. I didn't even send a DST file. I sent the Happy, was it a tap and a H something or whatever. So it's not even remotely limited to just Tajima and DST files. So, okay.
And the other thing is, one of the very important things that, to me, especially when I had my embroidery shop and I had a lot of people that sent me DST files, it was very important to me that the software was able to fully edit DST files. And back in the day, 15 years ago, that was something that programs didn't do. And Floriani was one of the first. So you can load all the different formats and you'll be able to read densities, stitch lengths, all of that, and you'll be able to change them. You can add underlay, you can add compensation, whatever you want to do. You can modify files that were created in other programs or saved into non-native formats.
Right. Okay. So I don't know if you're able to share your screen at all, DJ, or if you're still having trouble.
Every time I go to try it, I don't get the pop-up that says that I can choose choose something. So I'm not
Choose a
getting
screen.
any of the options.
Well, we could try it the hard way, and you could direct me in what you want to do, and I could show it on my screen.
To the left on the address bar where it says HTTPS.
The only thing I was going to show is like the dynamic toolbar, like the dynamic toolbar and how it changes according to what you're doing. That's a usability feature.
So I've pulled up the software here, DJ,
preset.
and that's the dynamic toolbar is this right here, right? Across the top. And it does change to what you were doing. So if I select an object here, now it's changed to, I can edit the object, and then it'll change once I go to edit the object, whether or not I want to see the inclinations. I can view split lines. I can do the entry and exit nodes here. I can edit per
And if you
stitch.
if you choose a node itself, then you'll get even like other options there.
Yep.
Right?
And
so it tells you what type of node it is, and you can change it. So if you can see, there's a density on the far right, I think. But yeah, you get a lot of features that are. It all depends on what you're doing. So, like if you selected two objects at the same time, if you had two pieces of artwork, it would have features for combining, welding, all of those types of features. So it's very dependent on, according to what you're doing at that time, it'll present to you what options you have.
Yep. So that's the dynamic toolbar right there. It's really handy. It is dockable, so I can move it to this side of the screen if I want. I can move it down to the bottom or over to the right. Just depends on my personal preference. By default, it's up at the top. You can see here that we have our properties box and our segment box all under one column there. But if I go to FTCU and I blow up the software again, you can see that I have my properties box on the left and I have my my sequence view on the right. And so you can actually get a longer sequence view, and that helps to be able to see the sequence and edit the sequence. So there's really a lot of cool features. We're really excited to be able to offer this program. It's something that we think is going to bring a lot of value to everybody. And again, it's a buy it once, and you'll always be on the latest version. They don't charge for updates. Like I said, I know people that bought the software 10 years ago that are still on the latest and greatest, and they haven't had to pay anymore. So I'm trying to think of anything else that we need to add in there, DJ.
Yeah, and I'm sorry because my connection's going over, and it's usually very, very good. So, but yeah, the buy once, get free updates, for life.
it chooses to freeze at the perfect times. Okay, so we actually have a question here from Barb, and it's what other modules are to add in there. There is the Sketch-a-Stitch, which allows you to draw on a tablet surface or on an iPad. There is a lettering master, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, and that one is to convert true type fonts into keyboard embroidery fonts.
Yep. And then there's one for quilting, Quilter Select.
The Total Quilter. And that one is very specific. It's for, doing quilting. Very powerful. But it's not something that a lot of people would utilize. So I guess this would be a good time to point out, like with the Floriani software, it's updated more than any program. And usually there's like 2 updates a year, and there's always new features. And the thing is, like, this software has all of the stuff like accordion, spacing, color blending, all of those tools come with the main program. You're not having to pay. They're not elements or whatever to add in. You're getting all of the full digitizing features. The Sketch-a-Stitch is a very special thing that's a standalone, and that's why it's separate, because you can buy it by itself. But if you do own FTCU and you get that software, it installs into FTCU. But the whole idea is give people all the tools in one package, right? The digitizing tools are all there. You're not paying extra, for accordion spacing or specialty stitches, right? It's all included.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm checking to see if there's any other questions in there. I think we've covered all of the questions that I've seen in the chat. If there's anything else you guys want to touch on, then we can do that now, or we can go ahead and close out. Let's unmute Justin. Try again, Justin.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I think the biggest thing that I wanted to point out is that we have the unique opportunity to, between the 4 of us, we use probably 30 different softwares at some time or another, or on a daily basis. And as much as we try to put out education across the board, so we're not focusing on just one software, because our listeners and viewers may not use the same software. And as much as we try to do in embroidery theory and digitizing theory, we have an opportunity now to work closely with Floriani in that we can use the software. We're going to be learning it a lot more than what we have been using it so far. And not only do we have the opportunity to get the word out there to help people purchase the software, but we can act somewhat of a tech support for it, because we're hopefully going to be using it more and getting to the point where we're mastering the software enough that we can teach on it more. We're going to have more lives on it, and we could ask questions when people run into difficulties or just learning the software. So that's just an opportunity that all of us are there available to do that for people.
Yep. And it is. Go ahead, DJ.
Oh, I'm saying the neat thing to me is that when I got started doing this 15 years ago, coming from the commercial side, at that time Floriani was a lot bigger on the commercial side, and we were selling Floriani software at commercial events like ISS shows and stuff like that. But that ended about 3 years in, and it's been kind of in the home market. And the thing about that, the reason why a lot of people haven't heard of Floriani is because Floriani utilized their dealers to promote and sell the software. They didn't sell direct, right? So a lot of people haven't heard of it for like 10, 15 years, although it's been selling like crazy for years. It's just been in a different market. And it's always had roots in the commercial side, and that's really where the strength is. And so it's neat to be working with the Embroidery Nerd group on this, because this is a software program that just hasn't been highlighted, that if people would have known that it existed years ago, they might have jumped into it from the beginning and probably saved a lot of money, especially with updates and everything. And so with that, I'll be working closely with the Embroidery Nerd and listening to what all their customers want, so that we can help build new features and functions into it, that if there's something there that isn't there. And like I said, we develop it a lot more than most companies. We're always adding new features. And whenever they're available, they're just in an update. You just get them. So it's really good that way.
Yep. Awesome. So for you guys, we are introducing this at the price of $18.99. And if you're a member of the Embroidery Nerd group, you can hop over there and look for a coupon code that'll give you guys some extras with your purchase. So with that, I'll go ahead and close this out. We've got Justin Armenta from JA Digitizing Studios. I'm Jeff Fuller from Fuller Embroidery Works. We've got Matthew Enderly from Patchphrase, and joining us today is DJ Anderson from Digitizing Masterclass. We'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next time.